Hey YouTube, this is Mixie Tarot, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about the messages that I got earlier when I did the Pleiadian reading, and I said that I would come back if I got other messages, and I was just about to fall asleep after I did the reading, and I was thinking to myself, by the way, I'm not using any cards, I'm just talking right now. I just wanted to come on and talk a little bit about what I did. And I remember I was getting ready to fall asleep, and I was thinking to myself about those final cards with the lovers, and I was thinking it was Adam and Eve and the Garden of Eden. And then that final card that I got was crawlers, snakes. And I was thinking about that, and it worried me. It scared me actually a little bit. I was like, well, the only snake that I know of from the Garden of Eden would be the devil, really. And that scared me even more. And I was like, oh my God, maybe when I actually did this reading, maybe I didn't actually pick up on what I thought I did. And then right before I was falling asleep, I got the message that no, it's not that what you tapped into is evil. We're not evil. What we were trying to explain was that in the Garden of Eden with Adam and Eve, what's described in the Bible as a snake was not a snake the way that we know it. I got that it was a reptilian. I know that sounds really, really strange, but it's not a snake the way we see a snake in the grass that way, or a snake in the tree. It was a reptilian, which is another form of another alien form. Now, that being said, I have to let you guys know that I'm not into like UFOs. I'm not into different. I do believe that there are other life forms out there, of course, but it's never really been my thing. Like, I'll do tarot cards, which I just started doing that, and I believe in ghosts and those sort of things, but I've never really been interested in researching or knowing more about aliens or different alien forms or UFOs. Like I said, I do believe it exists, but I've never really been interested. So I don't know a lot about Pleiadians, or reptilians or anything like that. I've heard it before, but it's never really been my thing. So for that message to come to me, that possibly, and this goes against everything that I ever believed about the story of Adam and Eve, and I honestly believe that there's more layers to it than I can give right now. But I really believe what they were trying to tell me. They weren't trying to scare me. I do believe that they observed the situation. I don't know if it necessarily happened the way the Bible explained it, but they were present, observing what we would call a snake today, like a snake in the tree, the way we know the cold-blooded creature, was not the same snake that they saw. It was a reptilian. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but I just wanted to bring that to you guys. Now, that being said, some other things that I was thinking about was I pulled a card where it was the Apprentice card. And I believe it was that card where I said that it looked like a Pleiadian had the way that Pleiadians are described, had his hands on the apprentice trying to give a message, to teach, to give wisdom to. And then I talked about the circle of water. It looked like the ocean, and there were sharks going through the water. The other message I got was, it could be one of two things. I feel like it has something to do with Hawaii. So either something major is going to happen in Hawaii, or there is a combination. I don't know if there's a flower, almost like a lily pad. I've never been to Hawaii. Almost like a lily pad that grows in the water in Hawaii that's has some sort of healing power, that has some sort of there's some sort of water flower. That's all I can think of. Either there's some sort of water flower, or there's a combination of some flower in Hawaii along with something from the water that can heal something, that can heal an illness. I've never been to Hawaii. If anybody can say, like, tell me, like, oh no, you're just imagining that, or if there is some sort of herb or some sort of flower that grows in the water that has some sort of healing power, or I shouldn't say healing power, some sort of healing essence. I don't know what it heals. I know that there's something with the water and a flower that heals, or there's something in the water along with the flower that heals, or there's a flower that grows in the water that heals. I don't know what it heals though. Anyhow, that being said, that was one thing. And the other thing was the first card that I pulled, where the family was eating. There was a family that was eating abundantly, and then there was another family behind that, and they were clearly too poor, very poor, emaciated. I've gotten emaciated a couple of times in my readings that I've done on Pleiaidians. However, that aside, I remember I said that we must learn to share the abundance of our food, of with those who are less fortunate, abundance of food, abundance of other things. Just learn to share with one another. Nobody is any different or better than another. But another message that I got from that was that possibly that family that was eating well was also the family we saw in the background that was emaciated. So, and I remember I said that I thought that the reading was about food. I was getting the urge to do a reading through them about food. So it could confirm what I said further in the reading when I was talking about a shortage of food. If indeed that could be a second interpretation, that the family that was eating abundantly now does not have food. If the family, God, I know I'm not being clear. I hope you guys can go back and look at that card where the family is eating abundantly and there's another family in the background that's emaciated. I feel like that's the same family. To go from eating abundantly to not having enough food to eat. And remember, further in the reading, I actually talked about the food being stored, because there was going to be a shortage of food, a shortage of